Right, so 8 o'clock, so I'll start. And what we're doing today, I don't know, I can't remember whether you all were here the last round, the FACT part 1. So that was facing and accepting. So for today, we assume we've done that. So we've got in our space around us, we've got our issue in one location. For me, that's here, where I've chosen it. And, oh, what's happening? People are dropping out and coming back in. Oh, well. Yeah, so here's my issue. And let's start with choosing. So if you imagine there's your issue and you have faced everything and you've accepted everything around it. So you're in a comfortable space, you know your issue very well. And then just maybe face your issue, look towards your issue and start with gentle, nice movements and belly breaths. And just sense into your body, what can you feel? Is there anything that's happening as you look at your issue? And then you ask yourself with a nice which I can't do today because I've got a sore throat. So a nice vibrating Ask yourself, what do I really want? And maybe go a bit closer to your issue. Move around a bit. Look at your issue, or imagine your issue. And ask yourself again, sorry, the humming is not working today. What do I really want? And maybe you want to play around with it a little bit more, maybe even walk away from your issue, don't look at it. And then ask yourself again, what do I really want? And just notice what's happening inside of you. Do you notice anything, maybe anything that you recognize from the past when you have made a decision and you felt, yes, I want to do that. It feels right to do that in my body. Or maybe you feel different. Maybe you feel like you want to make a different choice. Just play around with that for as long as it feels good. Move towards your issue and away. But give yourself time. Really notice what's going on in your body. And maybe, when you've done that enough, maybe there will be a point that you notice, yeah, I do notice in which direction I want to go. I feel drawn more towards one or the other. And once you're there, and once you really feel in your body, okay, I'm ready to make that choice, then, then maybe you want to move into the next stage. The T, the taking action. So have your choice in mind, the choice you want to take around your issue, and then start moving a little bit again. Maybe move around in your essence pace and let it sink. Really notice what's going on in your body. And then ask yourself, so if I want to make that choice, what is one simple little baby step, a little, tiny little action step that will take me closer to making that choice, to getting where I want to be? It doesn't have to be, you don't need to reach the end goal just with that, but just, yeah, just the first little, just inch towards that. Just a tiny thing that feels comfortable and that feels friendly and that is, that feels like it's going to make your issue or your decision, your choice, become more real. And play around with that again. What is one simple little action step that I could take that will lead me to what I really want? And maybe you want to walk around with that and ask yourself again. You can play with your voice and with your speed and your breath and your movements. Just notice what's going on. And maybe at some stage, something will pop up that you think, oh yeah, maybe there is something that I could do that brings me just a little bit more into that direction. And once you've landed on that, write it down. What could you do? What's your next little action step? And then finally, to conclude the practice, think about, oh, when could I do that? Give yourself a time. Do you want to do that tomorrow? Or if it's something bigger, maybe you want to give yourself a few days, or if it depends on where you will be. Just make it friendly to yourself that you can achieve this first action step. And that's the first step on your road towards making your choice. And maybe once you've taken that little baby step, maybe you want to repeat the process and see, okay, I remember my choice. I've taken the first step. I want to do it a little bit more. So you can go through the same process again. Hang on, there's a bit coming up in the chat. Let me just quickly check before I go towards the end. Oh, that's just, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, so that's basically how you can play with, in little circles, in little cycles, to move towards maybe a bigger decision. To just repeat the process, play around with your voice and with the choosing and no, sorry, not the choosing. Once you've made your choice, with the taking action, what would be the next little action step that would take you a little bit further, and that after your first action step feels like a friendly and easy choice. Yeah, so I think that concludes the practice for today. I hope that was in a way that made sense and landed well with you. So it's 7 minutes past, so I invite you to play around, practice it for yourself, or maybe even with others. And thank you so much for coming. Have a nice evening. Lovely to see you all. Thank you.